This is Nimbus Yosh, aka the People's Champion, coming at y'all with another MYTHBUSTER video explaining some of the findings that I have about this smileb4death character and basically kind of punking out Count Cockula. You know, besides the whole being punished from arenas thing. So, what I want to show y'all is some of the data that I gathered basically from Count Cockula's findings. So the irony of this whole thing is Count Cockula actually ratted out smileb4death. And I'm going to show y'all exactly how he did that. But first, two things I want to explain. Thing number one is above subs and above likes and subscribers and all that nonsense. What YouTube likes to look at is something called retention. Retention is how much of a video someone watches. So, for instance, you watch a video and it's 10 minutes long and you only watch about a minute of it. That's not very high retention. But if you have a 5-minute video and you watch 3 minutes of it, that's kind of like you watch more of the video. So, with that, I'm going to show you some information that I found on smileb4death's videos. Remember that word, retention. And the next thing I want to talk about is the equation that I use may or may not be the equation that YouTube uses to find retention. However, the empirical data that I found I will be showing, and you can use whatever equation you want, the equations will still be, the base data will still be sound. So if you have a better equation to find percentage of time, feel free to plug in the factors that I show you and you will find out exactly what's going on. However, what I am going to show you is something, and it's a little startling to find. So check it out and I'll be right back with you. This is the statistical data for one of smileb4death's videos taken around the time that Count Cockula was talking about the big spike in views and the big spike in subs. Let's take a look at three numbers here. We're going to look at the views, the time watched, and for later, we're also going to pay attention to the subscriptions driven. Now, to find about the average viewership or retention, we're going to take the time watched, which is in days. So you take 27 and multiply that by 1,440. The number that you're going to get is 38,880. You then take that and you divide that by how many views he has, which is 27,030. The number that you're going to get, rounded up to the nearest thingy or whatever, is 1.43. Okay? Now, the equation that you use to find the percentage of the video watch is open parentheses x over y close parentheses times 100. So you're going to plug in 1.43 over 12.43 close parentheses, multiply that by 100, and you're going to get 11.5%, which means that the average viewer only watches about 10% of this video. That seems a little low. So 10% of the video would be about a minute. That seems just long enough to pop in, give him his views, write down a comment, and we'll get to that later, and pop out to go spam another video. This is what I'm talking about with smileb4death buying his subs and buying his views. Why isn't anyone watching his video? Could it be just his video is crap? Which, you know, more than likely it is. But when you have this many people watching, but this many people not watching a lot of his video, that brings up a question. So this isn't just the video that I saw this type of phenomenon in. Let's look at some others. This one, made around the same time, Chav talks about player housing. And if you use the equations that I used earlier, you'll find that this one has 20% retention. That's still pretty low, isn't it? But hey, let's look at another one. Why not? This one, where smileb4death does a quick video about the gladiator class. It's a fairly short video, at 2 minutes and 14 seconds, but it still only garners 36% retention. Now that is above the 20%, but let's do some comparisons with the guy that Count Cockula already talked about, Orbit. Hang on a second, here we go. In this video, taken around the same time that smileb4death did his video, Orbit talks about weapon styles in Final Fantasy XIV. If you crunch the numbers of the data, and this being a 2 minute 17 second video, you're looking at 52.99% retention. That's way higher than the 39% retention we got on smileb4death's video. But wait, there's more. This video, Orbit talks about the choice between Warrior or Paladin. This is one of his longer videos at 9 minutes 31 seconds. The retention on this video, 29.1%. If you remember the first video that I showed from Chav, his was only 11%. Now, since we're making this type of comparison, why is it that Orbit's video is much higher in retention than smileb4death's video, when they're about the same subscription base? Now remember I talked about the subscriptions driven number? That's the number 3 number where it says subscriptions driven. And on this video, Orbit got 48 subscriptions driven. On the other one, it was 19. And across the videos where he started doing videos for Final Fantasy XIV, you see a lot of subscriptions driven, at least 15, if not more. However, smileb4death couldn't break 10. So around this particular situation, how is smileb4death getting all these subscriptions if these subscriptions aren't being driven by his videos? I mean, it's evident that no one's sticking around long enough to watch his videos. Why would he get the subscriptions then? This is one of the reasons why I talk about this guy buys subscriptions. This is mainly because the numbers just don't add up. Yes, you're gonna have a lot of views. Yes, you're gonna have a lot of subs, but you can buy those easily. If you go on the websites, hell, if you look in the doobly-doo down below, it explains exactly how the numbers jive and so on and so forth. And smileb4death's numbers just straight up don't add up. So you can take that Social Blade data, you can compare that to the data that I just showed you, which is there. It's not like I faked them or photoshopped them or anything like that. You can go back to those videos that I described and look at the numbers that were present. So, how exactly am I a fucking moron again? How exactly don't I know how YouTube works? Now, I would be interested, remember you said that? I'll be interested on how you can refute the data shown. I'll also be interested on how can you refute the data shown that I punished you from arenas, Cockula, and smileb4death can't beat me even on someone else's character. Also in the doobly-doo, I have the playlist of smileb4death getting his behind whooped over 20 times and all the nonsense that he does over YouTube. Basically, you're defending an asshole. You're defending a guy that's one of the worst things to happen to DCUO, because he's not a good player. He's definitely not a reputable YouTuber, and he cannot stop the people's champion. So let's see what you have against that. Are you going to make another parody video? Is there going to be another video of smileb4death in blackface making homophobic jokes about me? Or you making racist jokes about, how do you say it, white girls, while I'm quote-unquote working at McDonald's? Which one are you going to do next? Because they're not necessarily funny, but they are telling of the type of people you and smileb4death is. So, I think I got you, son. I think I got you. Pretty much the only thing you can do is try and face me in arenas. But you know how that's gonna go down. Heroes for life, people's champ for life. We do what it do. We finish the job. Now tell Cockula and Chav to get up off my nuts. Holla back at your boy, Percy. All that math I had to do for y'all, y'all better appreciate that. Percy.